Welcome to the Profit Talks podcast, hosted by the Orange County Inland Empire SBDC Network, funded in part by the U.S. Small Business Administration and the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. This show is the go-to resource for business owners seeking empowerment, education, and resources to succeed. Join us as we connect you with experts, share the triumphs of fellow entrepreneurs, and reveal the wealth of assistance available to you today to level up your business. So let's go. Let's dive in and learn more. And if we got a conversation for you today here, what's the one thing every small business or every business, big or small, wants? More money, access to capital. If I only had some more cash, I could open that second location. I could expand the operation. I could do all sorts of great things. And what's the one thing holding most small business back? Access to capital. They can't figure out how to do it. So if you find yourself in that situation, we've got somebody who can help you figure it out. Welcome, if you will, Sylvia Pizarroso. Did I get that close?
Yes, you did. Pizarroso.
Pizarroso, okay. I want to make it sound like Italian, but it's not Italian here.
It's not. I'm from South America. Yeah.
Where are you from in South America?
Bolivia.
Bolivia, okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk about all that, how you got here and got into this position that you're at, because you're the director of the SBDC Finance Center, the center funded by the state of California and the SBA to help small businesses, all businesses, find more money, find capital, right?
That is right. We're here to assist small businesses find the capital they need to start and grow. Our mission is simple. We want to empower small businesses across Orange County and the Inland Empire with resources and guidance so that they can achieve their financial success.
That's what I need. I need the guidance. Where's the money? How do I get it? And what forms? We're going to talk about all the challenges small businesses face in doing that, and I'm going to be the poster child for everything that's done wrong here. When it comes to the money part of the business, I loved radio. I was in radio as a kid in college. I ran the college station. I worked professionally and as a rock and roll DJ and found my passion again late in life when podcasting erupted, and I said, let's like talk radio. So here I am with a passion for what I do. That doesn't mean I know how to balance the books or get a loan or fill out the right forms. Is that the problem that we're facing here? We don't even know how to go get the money?
That is part of the problem. We have many individuals, much like yourself, that have a passion for something. They either have invented a product or they have a passion for a service.
They like to cook or whatever. Or
exactly.
They love water sports or something.
Exactly. Yeah. But that doesn't mean they will be a successful business entrepreneur. There's a lot more to it. Running a business is no small feat. You can have the best recipe out there, the best product, but at the end of the day, if you don't make a profit, you're not going to be around much for long. So,
seems pretty obvious, but that's something we all struggle. I had a bar and restaurant for a number of years, and we thought, boy, we're doing good. Look at all the people coming in. Look at all the cash. And we'd go to divvy it up at the end of the month, and we'd like, what happened to all of it here? Some of it walked out the door. Some of it got stolen. Some of it we wasted. We were babes in the woods. It took us quite a while to figure out how to get the financial part of it under control. So what do you do at the SBDC Finance Center? Is it strictly people come in and you try and direct them to the right resources, or do you help them figure out what they're missing? Do you hold my hand and walk me through the process?
Absolutely. So we, at the Finance Center, we have 7 consultants, including myself, with a lot of experience in the finance, banking, and just business operations.
We had one of them on, Craig Russo.
Yes, he is. Most of the consultants in the SBDC are.
Is it Russo or Rusum?
Rusum.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
I said Russo. Yeah, Rusum.
Most of the consultants are business owners themselves, and they have extensive experience in running a business.
That was Craig's case. He had owned and run some sporting goods stores, I believe in Colorado or something.
That is correct. And also, he's still running a business along with his wife. It's a dance studio here locally in Orange County.
There you go.
Yeah, he's still a business owner. So what we offer at the Finance Center is we're going to help you doing a business loan review for you. So business financial review.
Looking at all my docs and what's missing here.
Exactly. Personal financial review. We're going to do loan packaging, lender matchmaking, And we're also going to help you with the educational piece. Let me go through some of those bullet points.
Yeah, let's walk through what that, because it sounds so simple. Okay, you're going to a loan package. How tough can it be? You go to the bank, they give you a couple of forms, they ask for some other documentation. I don't need any help to do that. Boy, go try it yourself sometime.
Yeah, so the financial guidance we offer is one-on-one consultation with experts. All of the consultants have over 20 years of experience in the finance world. So we are going to review your financials based on your needs and try to put a plan together.
Okay.
On the loan packaging assistant piece, we're helping you with preparing the loan application and presenting that application to lenders. On the connecting...
And let's just stop there for a second. Is that easy or is that hard? Is it just filling out a couple of forms, or is there some strategy to this? Maybe we should focus on this, or maybe you need to clean up this before you go do that, or something. I don't know. My wife was a branch manager for U.S. Bank before she retired. You were what? You were in banking yourself, right?
I was. I retired from banking in January after having been there for 37 years, most recently at J.P. Morgan Chase. So I was a commercial banker for the last
And what is it we
years.
don't know? You must be frustrated. You must go home and say, are these people nuts? They walk in wanting a loan, and this is what they give me, a tissue, a box full of tissue paper and some stubs and some other things here. Is it that ridiculous, or do people really come in well prepared? Because I know if you're a big business, there are people, your accountants and other stuff will prepare this for you. But you're a small business, you may not have all that at hand.
The situation is that there is lack of education. As I mentioned, you may have the greatest recipe, you're a chef, you want to open your restaurant, but does that mean you know how to properly account for certain things operationally?
Your portion cost. How much does it cost you each? That sandwich that you think is so wonderful, you're losing $1 every time you sell one here.
Exactly. So what we do, every industry, every business is different. So we're going to do a comprehensive analysis of your particular situation. We're going to look at your numbers and see where you're at. Based on that, we can determine whether you're loan ready now or maybe you need some time. So since we're in July, this is a perfect opportunity to discuss how to get ready for a loan next year.
Yeah,
because
right.
it sometimes it's not an overnight thing. Yes, perhaps you can go out there and get a loan, but if you're doing it in a hurry and you don't have the proper documentation, you're going to get not the best terms. You're going to get a high interest rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Perhaps a loan that's going to put some financial strain in your company down the road because it's something that is not going to be sustainable as far as a repayment plan.
And how many kinds of loans are there? I don't really understand that. If I have a small business here, I decide, hey, I want to open up a bigger location, I want to hire more people, I want a second location, whatever it is. I have some grand dream. Can I discuss that dream with you and you'll give me some reality? Paul, you're not ready. Paul, you're missing this. Or Paul, you're perfectly situated to do this. Here's a type of loan package that you should get. Are they all the same, or are there different kinds of loans and different kinds of lenders have different requirements?
There are different types of loans, and all lenders have different guidelines. So we are here to assist you with that process because I just had, for example, last Friday, I got a call from a individual who's looking to purchase a restaurant here in Orange County.
Okay.
He had gone to 4 banks already. He literally walked into 4 different banks saying, I want to buy this restaurant.
Right.
And all 4 of them turned him down for a couple of reasons. The main reason is that they're not lending to restaurants right now. Okay.
There you go.
These are larger banks, but I told them that doesn't mean he's unable to get the loan right now. We work with over 100 lenders, from the large, mid-size to community banks to non-bank lenders, private money folks, and so on and so forth. So we're able, once we collect this information, we'll be able to determine where we can match him with. There might be some companies who are lending to restaurants at the moment.
Or have comfort in that level. They specialize in that. When I was up in the entertainment industry, there were banks that lent you for movies. There's a risky option, but they knew how to value that, and that was their business was based. They knew how to accept the risk. Other people I don't even want to touch a movie.
That is correct, and it changes. The whole finance banking industry they're always changing. They could be lending to restaurants today, but 6 months from now, because their portfolio
for restaurants has reached a certain threshold, they want to pull that back and then they stop lending to that industry. We have to continuously be in contact with different lenders to find out exactly what they're doing, because the guidelines change from sometimes month to month, from year to year.
What do they want? What are they looking for? What will they do and what won't they do? So within loans, give me some different ideas of different kinds of loans. Are they all, like an SBA loan, for example, requires a certain amount of money down, right? You have to have a certain skin in the game, a little stake in it or something here.
Yes, so they are different. To answer your earlier question, there are different types of loans. They are traditional loans where you put a down payment towards your project and the bank will give you a loan. However, because the Small Business Administration wants to help small businesses grow, they've been able to come up with programs, SBA programs, which are essentially loan guarantees that enables banks.
Makes the bank feel better. Hey, if they fail, we'll stand behind this thing here.
Yeah, not only that, it allows small businesses to not put as much money down. For example, there's an SBA 504 program that it's used particularly for purchasing real estate.
Okay.
And in that case, you only need to come up with 10% down payment to get into a commercial building for the business.
Okay.
Right? It requires 51% occupancy, and there's other guidelines as well. So we walk you through that process, because someone who has never purchased a building in the past may not know all the little nuances that go when you're purchasing a building.
I guarantee you they don't, because you only do these things once or twice in your life. Why would I be up on the latest lending requirements or the beta? All different kinds of loan packages out there, and all different types of institutions or private lenders, all the way up to big lenders. Now, here's the other thing that always surprises me. It's a negotiation. How much you got to put down, and we'll give you this. But if you put up more, we'll give you more, or we'll give you a different interest rate. Or there's a negotiation that goes on in this. And that negotiation sometimes depends on your credit score, sometimes depends on your collateral, sometimes depends on your experience, or some other, I don't know, hard to figure out formula for most of us. What is it that they're looking for? Why are they turning me down? I'm a good restaurateur. I know what I'm doing. I've been around for a while.
There's a lot of things that go into putting a loan package or getting an approval. First and foremost, you got to show the ability to repay the loan, cash flow. If it's an existing business, are you generating enough cash flow to repay that loan? And some people think that cash flow is money in the bank. That's not necessarily that's not the formula.
You got to prove that month in and month out, this is what's coming through the door here.
Exactly. And then aside from cash flow, you need to have good personal credit. Believe it or not, a lot of people have the misconception that, I have an LLC or an S Corp or a C Corp. So
that's not. I don't have to put up a personal guarantee. I don't have to be part of this.
Yeah, that is not the case. As long as you're a small business, you would have to put that personal guarantee probably up until a point when your business is large enough where
there is a point when General Motors doesn't have to put up a personal guarantee
there is.
anymore.
Even before that, when you reach a certain threshold, typically around $20 million in revenue, and you have better quality financials, review financials from a CPA, at that point, you can have that discussion with a lender where I do not want to pledge my personal guarantee, because now the company has the financial ability to stand on its own, but that's only because you have either reviewed or audited financial statements by a CPA that says, these numbers are, accurate.
Audited is the key word. You paid somebody. This isn't just an assessment. I got this much in the bank and I owe this much, and what you fill out in a typical car loan where they give you a couple of snippets, highlights or something here. All right, so some of it is understanding who to go to. Some of it understanding what it is that they're looking for. Some of it is being realistic about what you think you're looking for. Hey, I want money, and what? I'll pay it back. Trust me. And some of it is not understanding the kinds of programs that maybe fit you better, like an SBA loan. Or we had somebody here talk about community lending. That's a whole world I didn't know. Another program that's been set up by the Treasury Department to give small loans to small people that otherwise can't get a loan. Talk about any of that stuff.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we work with a multitude of lenders, including CDFIs, Certified Development Financial Institutions.
A group I never heard of before until this person came in here.
Yeah, so there are specific programs for small businesses, microloans. Some programs are specific for loans under 50,000, specific for loans under 100,000, under 250,000. So they make it easy so that.
And maybe you don't have to be in business as long. Maybe you don't have to have the same personal credit. Maybe you don't have to have as much collateral. All these other things that they look at.
Yes, when they try to make it easier so that the small businesses can flourish. There's a lot of people out there, especially in underserved communities, who have great ideas. They want to start businesses, but sometimes they don't have the ability to get a loan because of lack of education around the different programs or the different things that are out there for them.
Or a lack of connection. Is it important? Everybody says, have you got a good banking relationship? No, I don't have a good banking relationship. I take the money into the bank, I drop it off, they say hi. I don't know that they know me from a hole in the wall here. I'm not big enough to know. And I don't spend any time to get to know them or have them or sit down and talk to them. Are banks just busy and they just want to process this stuff? Or is the image of the small town banker still around? Joe, you're going to get to know Joe or Sue or Sylvia over at this bank, and they're going to somehow, that magic phrase, work with you, help you. Or is it just you fill out the forms? No. And next, hey, sorry, that's what they said.
Most banks have small business consultants within the branches that will work with small businesses on trying to get their loan applications through. And as you grow, as you reach a certain revenue threshold, you'll start graduating to certain levels. So there'll be a little more hand-holding on the side of the bank. They'll assign you to
Sometimes they'll come out and solicit your business and meet you. Hey, I see you got 3 restaurants. Why don't you come bank with us here?
Exactly. Once you start, again, a certain revenue threshold will trigger that. And then you'll start getting assigned to a business banker or a relationship manager that is going to help you through that loan process or through your growth process or whatever the case might be as far as your banking needs. But until you get there, sometimes, unfortunately, there aren't a whole lot of resources within the branches because you're too small. Your startup or your revenues are barely 100,000 or less than that. Mm-hmm. So we're here to help. We can connect you with all those organizations that are ready to help those small businesses with some funding.
Do you help me clean up the mess? I come in and my financials are chaotic. I haven't filed a tax return in a while, or I don't know, there's something missing in the package here that makes banks uncomfortable. And you're saying, why don't you go, I need this, I got to have this. We're not going to go talk to the bank till you get this data in front of us here. And do you guide me where to go get that data or walk me through what's missing in the package here?
We do. We put a plan together. Now, we don't give any tax or legal advice, but we can put a plan together so that you can work with your CPA on some of the items that you need to work.
Checklist I need to go down here.
Exactly. For example, right now we're in July. If somebody were to come to us looking for a loan and they're established, let's say their 2023 taxes don't show enough profit to make them qualify for a loan, then we put a plan together. Maybe they just need to work with their CPA on certain aspects throughout the rest of the year. So by the time they file their taxes in 2025, they are ready to go get that loan.
Or explain, why did your net profit went down? We had to buy some equipment. We bought some other things here. Tell me the story. Is there a story involved in this? Do banks listen to a story? Is it all just a checklist of this and that? I somehow think they used to listen to more of a story, and today it's more mechanical. Today it's more just a process. And if you don't click every box exactly right, you're kicked out of the system. Am I being too harsh on banks today?
I think you are. No, they listen to a story, but it has to make sense. So whenever we are looking at financial statements, there are numbers, and behind a number, there's also a story. Typically, banks or lenders focus on certain numbers. Basically, let's say high expenses. So that let's say 1 year they had. You're looking at a 2-3 year trend, and in 1 year that their legal expenses went from $5,000 to $100,000.
Right.
So that's a question mark. What happened? Tell me what happened.
Right.
So they might say, oh, we had a legal situation that is now handled and it's behind us. So that's something that could be added back to the profitability for cash flow, as long as it's a an item that's been settled and it's not an ongoing expense.
Right.
So they will listen to the story. They're going to look at the numbers. That is correct. However, as things don't look right from year to year, they're going to ask for the story. Tell me more about this. It can go back to insurance. Same example. Insurance expense is $5,000 one year, and the following year it goes up to $50,000. What happened? Something happened. So that's when the storytelling comes into
Takes
play.
place.
Yes.
And then that story gets transmitted to the underwriter, the mysterious underwriter that you never get to meet. This person that decides using some calculus, some voodoo, some tea leaves, figures out yes or no. And I've been there where they come back and my banker says, sorry, they said no. And you're like, why? I want to talk to them. I don't know. That's it. They just said no. And it's over. You guys, it's not over. You might save me that stumble. You might catch it because you look at it from like underwriters, right? You're looking at it. You're not giving a loan, but you understand the loan process better than I do, and therefore might help me avoid a quick turn down.
Yes, and also we get feedback from the lenders we work with. Let's say there is a turn down. Before we even get to that point, the way we work is once we package the loan and we feel that you're ready for a loan, we go shop it to a couple, 2, 3 lenders. And with your permission, we ask for feedback.
Yeah.
They come in and they look at you.
This is looking weak. This hasn't got much chance here. Or, well, yeah, hallelujah, we'd love to do this.
Yes, and then they'll give us some feedback. And then so you'll be hearing from us on the feedback we receive from the lenders. You know, that
You're like my agent. If I was an actor, you're trying to go around and see if there's anybody want to hire Paul here? He's pretty good. He's not bad.
Yeah, it pretty much works that way. So you get that feedback. So if there are certain things that you need to work on, again, we put that plan together and so that we can go back a few months later.
We'd hire him, but he's got to get rid of that gray beard and he's got to get rid of that gray look here.
Yeah, so again, lots of guidance, lots of resources that are here available for the small business community. We're the best kept secret in town.
I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. I would think this is the number one issue. Cash flow, access to capital. If only I had some more money, all the great things I would do. And you go down to the bank and you fill out a loan, and the typical response is often no. And then you're like, what did I do wrong? What happened? Here's a free resource that will help you avoid that no, perhaps, or help you guide to somebody that might be better suited to say yes. And if it doesn't, then they can help you put together a plan. How do we just give up, or how do we get to yes the next time we do this? What do we got to change over the next 6 months or over the year here? And here's the amazing thing is, you must charge millions of dollars to do this. That's what my CPA would charge me, or a financial planner or somebody else here. You don't charge anything?
We don't. So we are funded by grants from the Small Business Administration, the state of California, and host organizations. So all our services are confidential and free. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of all the resources we offer here at the Small Business Development Center, which are many. There's small business development centers across the country.
Oops, I didn't really quite report on my income here. Oops, I may have somebody that's got a immigration problem. All sorts of reasons people go, I better not open up and tell anybody what's going on in the back door here, because they're going to call up and say, Paul, he's a rat, or he's got a problem or something here. That's not it. You're like my advocate. You've got some confidentiality in this whole thing here.
We do everything, including as we gather the financial information, it goes into a secure site. And when we're inviting lenders to take a peek at your package, we have to get the client's permission so that they can take a look at it. So everything.
Because you must see some stuff in there and you go, I don't know, this looks a little shaky here. Do you really want to go do this? I don't know. I don't want you to explain everything here, but where's all the money go all the time here? Or what's with this? And you must see some stuff, because I bet a lot of small businesses do a lot of creative stuff. I won't say shenanigans. I'm Irish. Or they do some creative accounting sometimes here.
They probably trying to minimize some tax liability, perhaps. That happens. But again, when you're trying to look for a loan, you want to make your tax returns, your financials look as healthy as possible.
And talk about immigrant communities, because I just have had some experience in years gone by helping set up some bars and restaurants, mainly because I had one for a year. And I would go in and I'd say, I understand what you guys are trying to do. It's a cash business, and it's a Yes, you're supposed to report everything that you make and everything. Do they? I don't know. But they come up with these very poor financials, and then they wonder what that limits them. They can't go ever get a loan. Maybe it would be, maybe there's an incentive to telling the truth here. Maybe there's a better way to do this. If you want to grow and expand and stuff, at some point you got to get out of the shadow economy and you got to get into the real world here.
So very true, and that's one of the things.
Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I see that all the time. Yeah.
It's true. Believe it or not, cash is going away. Most people are buying via credit these days when they go. Everybody's swiping their credit card when they're going somewhere. But yes, having good financial information is very important. Making sure you're filing your taxes on time and you have accurate financial information. If your spouse or somebody who's not financially savvy doing your books, hire a bookkeeper to make sure that the books are in order for many reasons. You want to avoid mistakes. You want to make sure things are current because you want to take advantage of maybe a new opportunity. Let's say it's not a restaurant. Let's say you're a manufacturer, you're doing something and you have an opportunity to get this large contract. But they're requiring certain things.
You need a bigger machine or something.
Exactly. Right? And then if you don't have that, it's going to not allow you to go out and get that machine to get that contract.
Exactly.
Or if you're going after, let's say, government contracts, they require certain things. And if you don't have the paperwork, have you
gotten the right certifications?
Exactly.
Have you demonstrated that you qualify for this woman-owned business or something here? You can't just walk in and say, I'm a woman-owned business, or I'm a vet. Yeah.
We can go back to the COVID days in 2020. A lot of businesses were not able to get the PPP funds because they did not have the necessary paperwork.
Exactly.
Which was not extensive to get that assistance. They didn't have the basic stuff to get that assistance, so they missed out on those dollars.
Free money sometimes.
Yeah, that were out there to help them out during those tough times.
I say it's an incredible program that few people know about, and I know that from my full disclosure, my work within the SBDC, helping people set up podcasts and do some other marketing thing from time to time, I'm amazed that there's a place to go with experts, confidential people who for free will look at what you got and give you an honest assessment of where you can go find some funds, maybe some free funds, maybe it's a grant, city grant, maybe it's a loan, maybe it's something more sophisticated, and other types of things you hadn't thought about, SBA loans or other types. If you rattle off 2 or 3 other types that are out there that I didn't even know existed. And they do this because the federal government, the state government recognizes we got to get small businesses going and growing, and that ain't easy to do. And part of it is they're small, and part of it is big banks they seem to only want to give you money that when you don't need it. That's been my experience. I don't need any money. That's when everybody wants to give me a credit card and a loan and everything. But when I need it, if only I had some more, I'm convinced I could do it. Maybe they're not convinced. Maybe you're a risk. Maybe you're just not what we're looking for right now here. Maybe you're just too small. Maybe you're not in the right field, or whatever it is. But I don't know where to go other than my friends and say, where'd you get a loan? Here's a resource. How do they find you? How do they get in touch with you?
So there's a couple ways in which they can find us. I encourage them to visit our website at OCIE.smallbusiness.org. Or they
that's for the Orange County Inland Empire, because that's the region you serve of this greater SBDC, Small Business Development Centers that are nationwide.
That is correct. So again, it's OCIE.smallbusiness.org. Or they can also call our intake center at 800-616-7232. And somebody will just take some information.
Say, hey, I heard this podcast. I need some help. Can they help me find a loan? Can they figure out why I got turned down? Can they help me come up with some other creative financing for whatever it is that I want to do? Or give me an honest look of whether I'm loanable. That's a word. If I'm somebody who lendable, that's the word. Lendable. I'm loanable. I'm lendable. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, they'll make sure that you are basically assigned to a finance center consultant.
I know you just took over this role, so you haven't had a lot of personal experience with this center, but are any stories that you can leave us with? I always love stories here. Somebody came in and they couldn't get anything, and we found her, we figured it out, and now, hooray, they're a big deal.
I have a few, actually. Yeah,
okay.
I joined the team a couple months ago, and it's been great so far. But I was able to gather a few stories from my team.
Good.
Just some examples here that I'm going to go over that were some deals that were closed over the last 3 months. A rehab center that received a $200,000 loan. It's an initial funding here in Orange County.
Wow.
An electrical...
Initial meaning it's first time out of the box, somebody gave them $200,000?
There's going to be a second and third funding behind this. They're doing multiple things there at the rehab center, so that this is just a portion of the larger loan that they're going to get. Yeah. We helped an electrical contractor obtain some funding for some trucks, about $60,000. That was an established business. We help a startup, a ceramic studio.
Those are the ones I always love. Now, who's going to lend money? Sorry, folks. I'm sure it's a wonderful idea, but a ceramic studio, if I'm a bank, sounds, I don't know about that one here.
We were able to help them secure a $30,000 loan.
See, look at that.
Yeah. And another startup, which is a very interesting business, somebody started a casino dealer school.
What?
And they got a loan for $70,000. Startup.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
You're geniuses.
Another one.
That sounds like one of those, I'm going to start a casino dealer school. What do you know about casino dealing?
It's an idea, something new, and they were able to secure some funding. We were able to help an online retailer refinance $100,000 worth of merchant cash advances. So if many people don't know, if you have set credit cards, you can obtain funds against those advances, but they're very high interest rates.
Wow.
And sometimes it doesn't help the small. They're able to get the funds right away, but the rates are super, super high. This particular online retailer, was able to refinance that debt to make it more palatable. So the rates and the payments are lower. And the big one,
here we go.
Drum roll. We help a gym refinance $3 million worth of their debt.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's not just getting new stuff, it's figuring out how to get rid of the old lousy loan or the bad debt that I took and shouldn't have, or maybe regret now, or need help lowering those costs.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So sometimes they need assistance with that, just like in the case of the online retailer. Those merchant cash advance loans are...
And who else? If not you, who would they go to? You think some bank maybe would take them under their wing and fight for it, but they've only got one product line, one account. If they say no, where do you go to? It's like in the old, even in the new days, there are brokers. If you want insurance, they handle lots of different lines. And if this one won't do it, maybe this one will. And they know how to find it and work with these different providers. Sort of the same thing. You're almost acting like a free broker here.
Yes, we are. That's how I explain our services. We are like a loan broker, but we don't charge anything. Of course, small businesses can go to loan brokers, but they're going to have to pay for that. And typically, those fees are added to their loan amount.
And
so
too
they're
many
paying
of those loan brokers turn out to be loan sharks, in my opinion. Here, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes they're paying
Shaky.
between 1 to 3 points on the loan to the loan brokers, and we do it for free. Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know how to respond to that other than everybody should call. How do they find you again? Is there a phone number? Is there a website? Give it to us all one more time.
Sure. Again, our phone number is 800-616-7232 to schedule an appointment. You can also go to our website to check out all the resources that we offer at OCIE-smallbusiness.org.
Wow. Everybody should become aware of this because it's a fantastic program. It's been around for a long time, but not enough people know about it. Some do. You rattled off a whole half a dozen of people you just quickly who refinanced or got money for startups or figured out how to reduce their debt or get new capital. All of that, folks, is waiting for you right now if you just contact these folks. Sylvia, thank you for coming down today here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and I hope you come back as you get other big stories and other success stories of people who couldn't figure it out, failed, flopped, gave up, and found you and found success.
I'll be back. Thank you.
Thanks so much. As we conclude another episode of the Profit Talks podcast, we hope we've empowered your entrepreneurial spirit. Reach out to us to connect with our experts, and let's take your business to the next level. Keep those dreams alive, keep pushing forward, and stay tuned for more. And if you liked what you heard in today's podcast and you want your business to reach new heights, just contact us at profittalkspodcast.org. or call us at 1-800-616-7232. That's 1-800-616-7232. So until next time, keep thriving.